Amusing. What's your answer? As a pronunciation coach, but also as someone who helps people with their communication skills in general, I'm really interested in the things that listeners, especially in English, are listening for, and that can help them decide that, oh wow, this is a person I want to hear talk. So we're going to be taking a look at a poem. This is from Krash Mat, and we're going to be focusing on an aspect of speech that I call firmness. Firmness refers to, for instance, this. I am right now talking very firm, versus softness. Right now, I am talking very soft. It's like the difference between knocking on wood, which is a little bit softer, and knocking on like steel, which is very, very hard and not very hollow. How can we use firmness, for instance, from the stage if we are reciting a poem? Here's an example of one possibility. Amusing. What's your answer? Don't you get tired of pretending, fighting so hard to make it seem like you're not drowning, when all your dreams are of swimming? What do you think, guys? Where are the moments where I went firm and where are the moments where I went soft with my voice? Thanks to Krash Mat for allowing us to play with this poem. My gentleness and the ruthlessness that lies beneath. Every time you talk with someone is an opportunity to inspire change. And all that we often have to do is convey that urge, that desire to transform with our voice. Hi guys, my name is Jeff. I'm from Diverses, and I'm right now a pronunciation coach and also a communication coach, helping people, including poets, with techniques for changing their performances into real, inspirational, moving performances from the stage. And so today we're going to be playing around with one element of contrast that you can use with your voice that can immediately transform the way that you give your poem to your audience. We're going to be playing around with speed. Speed means that sometimes you're going to talk really, really fast, but then sometimes go slow, because a lot of times when people perform poems, they stay at the same speed for 90% of it, 100% of it. Let's play around with that a little bit more. So this is an example of a poem. This poem is entitled What Scares Me. It was sent to me by Mark Sebastian Jordan. Thank you so much for allowing me to play with this poem. One of the reasons I picked speed for this as well, because the title of the poem is What Scares Me again, and fear is something that makes people nervous. And what do people do when they're nervous? They tend to speed up. They go really, really fast. But I think also when we think about like the impending doom, sometimes that also causes things to slow down a bit. So I think we'll have some opportunities to really have some fun here. We're going to play around with speed. Here's just one example of something that you can do with your own voice that can completely change the experience for your listener. What scares me? The kind of gray sky that scrapes your skin. The empty calories of watching beautiful people arriving before everyone else started even to move. My gentleness and the ruthlessness that lies beneath. Seeing stereotypes trapped in the same old ballet. Being stereotypes trapped in the same old ballet. Starring in my own epic parody. The dimming of the torch. Expectations. You. What do you think, guys? Where are the moments in this poem that you think could work really well going slow? Where do you think are some good moments to speed up?
A dizzy view clouded by the canopy of a coming mood. Every time we enter into conversation with someone is an opportunity to change for us, but also change for our listener. And very often the only tool that we use to lead to that transformation is our voice. Hi guys, my name is Jeff. I am a pronunciation coach for American English. I am also a communication coach as well for people, but also poets, thinking about how could we perform in a way that's a little bit more evocative and powerful from the stage. And today we're going to be talking about a technique which is an element of contrast that I call pitch. You may be familiar with pitch. You can think about a piano. Pitch is like high notes, but it's also low notes. And it's also a fundamental part of sounding natural in American English. The problem that I see over and over again is that when poets are performing from the stage, they just use the same pitch. Imagine I just talk like this for 10 minutes. Oh my gosh. Not going to be the most entertaining or probably just not an experience you want to be part of for any sustained period of time. And one thing that we can immediately do to transform that is increase the range of pitches that we are using. So we're going to be taking a look at a poem by Krash Mat. Thanks so much for allowing us to look at your work. This poem is called Underside. We're going to be playing around with pitches. I want you to pay attention. Where do I go high? Where do I go low? Where do we kind of mix things up and see if you think that's helping the poem? It's called Underside. Forgive me, for I mistook the underside, the dandelion, for a barber. It's astigmatism or narrow vision, a dizzy view clouded by the canopy of a coming mood. When did I become severe? How did I forget? Why, unobstructed sky. Where are some moments in this poem where you would get high? Where are some moments where you would go low? I would love to hear it. See you guys later.
Good night to the asparagus, picked first in spring. Good night to the asparagus. In general, if you're trying to maintain interest to your listener, you want to find the pattern you're using and you want to break it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I know that when I speak, at least when I'm reading these poems, I'm doing the same thing.
In fact, you did it right there. You're like, I know that when I speak, I know that when I'm reading these poems, I'm doing the same thing. I know that when I speak, and I know that when I'm doing these poems, I'll do that. Do you see how that had more contrast?
Had more variety.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all about variety. We're trying to add, find the pattern, break the pattern. Find the pattern, break the pattern. That's the goal.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So, for instance, if I'm reading a book like this, and it's going to feel weird and disruptive, if I'm like, good night to the asparagus, picked first in spring, good night to the robin, ready to rest her wings. You see, now I'm in a very regular cadence, right? Where it's like, good night to the asparagus, picked first in spring. Good night to the robin, ready to rest her wings. Do you see how it's a very different experience for my listener? To be clear, I've been teaching pronunciation since 2018, and teaching ESL, so English Second Language, since 2010.
Okay.
And then I switched to focusing primarily on pronunciation. By having so much time dedicated to just thinking about pronunciation, because I've thought more about pronunciation than most people have.
Sure. I mean that's what you're focused on.
It's just, that's the thing I've been thinking about.
Right, because you're trying to help people.
So I'm very aware of how people talk. That has led me to realizations that carry over well to. This is a performance workshop, but I really can't stress this enough. It's not a performance workshop. It's every time we talk to someone. Everywhere is a stage. And I'm trying to convey that. I'm trying to bring poets into that fold because
most of them do unless they're doing performance poetry, like for slam, then most poets, I see it, kind of do what I do.
But the thing is that the slam poet has the same problem that the page poet does.
They do?
They're just louder.
Oh, they have the same problem?
They're the same. They have no contrast. They're just yelling at you the entire time instead of talking to you.
Yeah.
That would be a fun good night version.
Yeah, they do. They do yell it out.
They just do like this, like
Good night!
Go! And then there's that one moment where they go quiet, but then they go loud again, and the thought groups are all the same, and there's no pitch contrast.
You're right.
And they don't change the pace, and
You're right. It's all the same.
Everything's firm and nothing's soft, and they have the same problem. It's just the other side of the coin, but it's the same problem.
Okay. I see. So then my next question is, when I'm doing normal conversation, I'm getting excited, do I have more vocal variety? When I'm just being natural, not thinking about it.
You're probably maybe using a higher range of pitches, but I don't know if you're necessarily changing your speed. I don't know if you're adding pauses.
No, I'm not.
I don't know if you're changing firmness, softness.
I don't think so.
I don't know if you're changing volume.
Probably not.
What was the other one you just said?
Volume.
Volume, firmness, softness, speed, thought groups.
Pauses.
Pauses. Sorry.